Right, today's topic of choice, custom enchantments. Now, I made this system before Mojang, actually, right? Allowed us to tinker with enchantments. So, yeah. Oh well, right? What do we have here? We have Enchanter's Crystals. Basically a way to add different lore attributes to different items, which then I, through functions and commands, detect and use that to process and create custom enchantments. Obviously, nowadays, right, you can actually just write into the game files of your data pack actual just custom enchants that then link to functions, and I could technically rewrite the whole system to utilize it, but I also do like the crafting system, right, and the way you have to unlock enchantment slots. You can't just obviously go to a table and chuck on enchants, get some books, and merge it. You actually have to think about which crystals you're going to use, and also unlock the actual slots. So when we get to it, what do we have in my inventory? Right, we have 4 different types of enchanted crystals. We have legendary, epic, and uncommon. Right, so pretty simple. These are the 3 tiers. So basically, Earth could appear on all 3 of these. Right, but you have the uncommon version, the epic version, and the legendary version. Then we also have an attribute crystal, which is basically just an enchantment that straight up adds a set amount of attributes to whatever item you do enchant. It is worth noting, though, the way the attribute system works in the game, it will rewrite all the base attributes, right? Because the way these are stored is not the same as when you add attributes to an item, which is very weird and annoying. So you would have to then use the other system that we did explain a couple episodes back, right? The tinkering system to apply proper attributes, right, to all the different items. Nonetheless, we're going to focus on these 3 crystals, I think, right? So the 3 different tiers, and there are quite a few, right? If we press this a whole bunch, we will get a whole set of different ones, right? We have Unseen, Collector, and Swift. And worth noting, you can get these from mining, from mobs, from sniffers, and from wandering traders. So whenever you find a wandering trader, you might notice that their trades are a little bit different. So here we have a random uncommon level crystal. We spawn in another one. What do you have? Oh, you have an attribute one, right? So every time they pop up, it will have some special trades for you to take advantage of. So you'll probably want to look into that, right? Wandering traders definitely have quite the nice inventory. But we have the crystals. How do we actually use it? Well, starting off, we need to get our hands on some different items, right? So Ancient Eye is one that we talked about, and we could use it with a spellbook before, right? But you can also use this to unlock a power slot, an empty slot, on an item to then be able to enchant. So for instance, if I were to take a sword and an Ancient Eye, come over to our Shulk Forge, right, and throw them both into the center. Ta-da, it gets consumed, and on our sword now is an empty slot. This empty slot then allows you to apply one of these crystals to it. So for instance, if we use the uncommon crystal here, we'll get Earth level 1, right? If we were to use the Wayfarer crystal here, we get Wayfarer level 2 because it's epic, and then Storm level 3 because it's legendary. Right, but Ancient Eyes are the only items you can use, right? So if we head over to the advancements, again, always in the advancements, and we go to Mastery of Shulk, we can come right up top here, and we have Imbuing with Potential. So using an Ancient Eye, you can enhance an item with an empty slot. Same with this, that, yes, I don't know what to say, right? There are 6 different items, basically, for you to unlock 6 different slots to then mix and match and customize with the plethora of new enchantments that I have added through this data pack. So Ancient Eyes, you'll find them out while just doing stuff in the world, but the one that you can probably target to go after are going to be these Shards of Power, which you do have to go on a little bit of a journey to actually get. Let me set it today. So, right, if we start off with an Echo Shard, grab a stack. We also need some lava, some blue ice. I'm trying to remember all the steps. Where's my ice? There we are. Blue ice, lava, and a warden. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. All the ingredients. You 3 are going to annoy me. So why don't we just say adios, for now at least. Right? Bye-bye. Okay, so how do we go about crafting our Shards of Power? Well, our little crafting journey begins with spawning in a Dragon Fireball, which I should have somewhere here, right? There we go. Ta-da! So, if a Dragon Fireball hits the vicinity of an Echo Shard, it will now absorb it, and we will get ourselves an incomplete shard, which then says, seeking greater heat. In comes the lava, right? We'll break that, chuck down the lava, throw it in, And just like that, it consumes the lava, and we get a reforged shard. Then the next step, right, is it thirsts for knowledge. So we actually need a set amount of levels. You need at least 30 levels, and I'm probably better off at this point just typing it in. Sets us to 30 levels. There we go. And now it's absorbed our experience. So if we're in survival, you lose a whole 30 levels. I'm most likely going to reduce that, right? Because Shards of Power is used quite a lot in the pack. So having to get to 30 levels every single time is a bit too much. I might treat it like the enchanting system, right? You have to be above 30, but then it only takes a couple, right? So, desires a cooling touch. In comes the blue ice. Just drop it onto one, and it will melt it, right? And then that will get us a sealed shard, and it says ready to consume that which dwells below. So the last task, or the hardest task, is basically to kite a warden around the shard. So as long as the shard is near the warden, it will absorb its essence. And after a little bit of time, ta-da, we get ourselves a shard of power, right? And one of its many uses is, again, going to be the new enchanting system. Let's just say goodbye to our warden friend as well before he causes problems. Perfect. Alright, so now that we have Shard of Power, again, surprisingly, after all that, this is still probably going to be the easiest item to come across, right? We can add a bunch of upgrade slots to a few different items. We'll grab out a shield, we'll grab out a chest piece, and, you know, we'll grab out a bow. Yeah, I think this will carry my points, right? So again, Shulk Forge, drop them in. Oh, we don't have enough levels. Start off by putting us back to 30. Drop the shield, drop the shard, right? Consumed, empty slot, obtained, there's a chest piece, and of course here's the bow. Now you can add an extra slot, right? Each of these items are independent. So for instance, if we try to add another shard of power, nothing's going to happen, right? Item has already been powered with a shard of power. So instead, if we do an Ancient Eye, right? 1, 2. No, that was the Ancient Eye one. Let me try again. If we do a shard of power on the sword, there we go. It will now have 2 empty slots. Allow us to enchant it twice, right? And now, simple enough to actually do the enchants. All you have to do is connect them, right? Why do I say connect? Throw them onto here as per usual. So we'll make a whole stack, right? And we'll go sword, our little earth shard, and then we'll do it on a shield, as well as a chest piece. Oh. That. Nope. I also got to retweak the drop crafting, because it doesn't quite detect anymore. It requires you to drop items in a certain order sometimes, and it's a little bit tedious. But there we go. Right, everything's enchanted, and now we have Earth 1, Shattering Strike. Then we have Earth 1, Earthly Bulwark, Earth 1, Earthly Presence, and Earth 1, Improved Projectile. So, as you can see, on each different type of equipment and tool, you're going to get a different version of the enchantment, right? So even though this is the Earth Crystal, it has different modes, again, depending on what you enchant. So, for instance, on the sword, it's now tied to attacking. On a shield, it's tied to blocking. On chest piece, it's tied to taking damage or just a passive effect. Then, of course, on a bow, it's tied to shooting projectiles, right? So that brings another level of versatility to the numerous enchantments that I spent a long time writing out, right? Oh, and of course, then we also have our spellbook. We go 1, 2, give it a shard, and then we can give it a earth, and we now also get Earth 1 quick cast. So, if I grab out some lapis, we can go through what exactly that means, right? The differences. So, on here, quick cast is the left click, so hold down the right click is how you actually shoot your magic spell, and then the left click is just a quick cast. So, in the case of this book, it drops a few stalagmites right in front of you every time you do the quick cast. So, if you name it correctly, right, obviously they will do some damage, whatever you drop it on. Yeah, perfect. Then, of course, on a shield, right? Well, we actually have to block. Now, something worth noting is for shields, I've created a parry system, right? So if you perfectly time blocks right as a mob is about to attack, which is, trust me, a little bit harder since, you know, the attack animations for a zombie is just hands out, yeah. But if you can time it correctly, you'll guarantee the effect. Otherwise, like usual, everything is tied to luck. Since we have infinite luck at the moment, we can show these off nice and easy. So if we grab out a husk, right? We swing our sword, ta-da, nice and simple, just drops a stalagmite. Though, with knockback, it's kind of a problem if we knock him into something. There we go, then he takes a double hit, right? Perfect. Then on the chest piece, I'm not quite sure. Does this do anything in particular? No, this is probably going to be when we get hit. So let's head on over to survival. Come at me. Oh, might not be when we get hit. To be honest, I need to write up a codex. Oh, and then we have blocking as well. If I can do the timing correctly. Nope. 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 Alright. I'm gonna concede that I don't quite remember what all the enchantments do, right? Again, I've spent a lot of time creating a huge list, right? You wanna see exactly how big the list is? Okay, so here we are, right? We have the different categories it's split up into. So sprinting, sneaking, range, quick cast, passive, hold shield, defeat, damage, crit damage, blocking, and attacking. And then, yeah, in each of these, there's a fair amount. There's 33, right? Divided by 3. We won't count the different levels to it. So that's what? 11. We'll call it 11 again. Call it 4. Call it 11. Call it 3. 2. Call it 6. Call it, you get the point, right? I've made a huge enchantment system that I would have loved to make, right? With the new system. Nonetheless, it is there. That is how you utilize it, right? Shulk Forge, just like the system we talked about last time, and then the chest crystals that you'll find all throughout the world, plus an item to basically unlock the potential of a weapon, tool, shield, armor. You get the gist. Hope you enjoyed. See ya.